the other episode.
It's amazing. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you want to go where we're streaming and you care to watch us, just make sure you mute it. But essentially, it's the Genesee on YouTube, which let's see if I can find it for you. YouTube, and it'll show up somewhere there. I think here. Yeah, here's my channel, so I'll link it for you guys in chat. I've never done this, so I don't know where it'll actually appear, but...
Mm-hmm.
Chat. Here. Make sure you mute it, otherwise we'll get, like, a feedback loop of hell.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I guess we're... good? Alright.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Hell.
Stop.
Yeah.
Alright, so here we go. Shh. I forgot to post it for people to see, so we're doing that now. Sorry.
Fight.
It's alright. This is Death D4 Dishonor. I'm Genesee.
My character is Anatari. She's a good aligned Kalishtar war priest. She has psionic powers.
I'm Eric. My name is Caesar.
I don't know what this assisting means. What do you have to say for yourself there? What do I call you, Mr. Death? Death? Boss? Not yet.
I'm Kevin. You will see this old man who looks similar to what Mithrin used to look like, but about 15 years older. And you will see that his entire hand is just basically one giant vambrace, all just armored to like the nth degree. But he looks you right in the eye and he says, "Well met."
I'm Florian. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Carl.
And I'm Tinsian, the despotic DM of Death D4 Dishonor, dastardly dashing ahead with all sorts of free-form creative ideas on the fly.
One of the beauties of D&D. Can't end the story. It goes anywhere you want it.
Welcome to the show. I'm Genesee.
I'm Eric.
I'm Florian.
And I'm Tinsian the Allergenated.
Wow.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, this is Friday, April 28th, and this is episode 194? 5? In a Whenever We Get to Do It series featuring a group of friends playing Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, so it's been a couple weeks since we've done this, and I'm going to let the Dungeon Master catch everyone up on where we are because I know I need it. So, Tinsian, you are a go.
In the last episode, the pathway was restored. A new pathway in the form of a quest was given. The restored was the episode which was not saved locally but was managed to be pulled back from YouTube. Huzzah. So,
yes. Shh.
The party has been tasked to enter the plane of air in order to return an elemental keystone.
Oh yeah.
And essentially, the party is dealing with the living dungeon, or a manifestation of part of the living dungeon. And they are remaining underground. So, last time, not much of a fuck was given. So, how do we change that? Well, Genesee wants combat. So, Therefore, combat. Up above you, further on the tunnel, higher above, there is a cacophonous sound, and it sounds like there's a lot of screaming. Back behind the party, down the pathway that leads into the stalactite and stalagmite cave entrance, which the party has... Yes, you guys did figure out that that was one of the many mouths of the living dungeon. There is also the sound of screaming and chaos starting to reach their ears, as if not only is there a problem, but an explosion, which I think there's enough nature understanding. Somebody has torched off a methane pocket, and you hear an explosion further down. Sanitari, I think you were the one that identified the language that the living dungeon was trying to use when you were communicating with it. I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Also, part of this episode, for those that are watching on video, is over Xanatari's right shoulder. Occasionally, you may see a fuzzy orange head pop up. That is Freddy, the co-GM, in his natural state. He may show up at some point in time. Those that are watching may see him. Those that are listening will have his purge edited out at a later time. Xanatari, the face that is in the wall and starting to melt back, that very inhuman, very weird-looking, chaotic face,
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be reacting to the sounds. It seems like it's delivered something, kind of like us trying to scream at ants. We don't really care. We just hope the message got through.
Okay.
I think you're in the running for this week starting first. So, having just gotten the assignment, having gotten a whole bunch of things, and now getting a whole bunch of ear noise.
If I recall, and I'm not sure if they were kobolds or I think they were actually drow, had left that area earlier, if I'm remembering all this correctly, and had run up to the surface. So I'm kind of curious where they ran to. Did we see them go ahead of us?
No, they ran back behind when the face appeared and the tunnel normalized.
Yes.
That is when they ran back up the way that you guys came.
Yeah,
where the first set of things happened.
Okay.
The methane explosion is down ahead of you, along with a bunch of other screaming.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm wondering what Bert is doing right now too, because he was kind of agitated when the face appeared, etc.
We pretty much know Bert is something fairly primal, but yet intelligent. It is not happy here.
Okay.
But it's... loyal is probably not the right word, but however it understands itself and understands you, for some reason it's choosing to follow you guys instead of going off and doing something else. Whether it's imitating you, just trying to learn something, not really clear, but something like that that's got the power to wipe out an entire city underground. It's got a lot of options, but it's definitely choosing to hang with you guys.
Okay, well, I feel more secure with Bert around. I'm game for going deeper and figuring out what this explosion is, if everybody else is, or I'm fine to just continue upward because I thought that that's the direction we were going to go anyway, originally, when we kind of decided to abandon this this endeavor. So I'm going to look at the party and say to Cesar, you know, what did you want to do? Because now it looks like we can leave if we want to.
There's actually a two-part thing here. There's also, remember, there's the person or persons that was trying to frame Cesar, and that was one of the options sending you back to the surface. Otherwise, I think if you were going to go forward with the living dungeon, it was down. I don't know which way. So beyond that, just continue with your guys'.
Yeah, well, I mean, I figured that was a time scenario. either, I mean, you're saying now as a dungeon master that someone's trying to frame him. I thought maybe he'd just come back from the future as a dick. So I didn't know if it was him.
Future Caesar's a
Future
dick.
Caesar's a dick.
Something
You guys
happened.
have some timey-wimey stuff going on, GM, timey-wimey.
Right.
That, who knows, but when have you ever had known Caesar to take the time to do anything except enjoy himself, let alone writing a booklet?
Okay, yeah, the fact that he wrote a manual on how to be a dick is a little excessive for Caesar. Okay. Well, not having come to this conclusion on her own, Xanatar would not know that he was being framed, so that's why I'm kind of leaving it in his court, because I'm always up for some adventure, going deeper now that we're not just kind of futzing around with a invisible creature. The point of coming here was to see why this tunnel had happened and why the other town had collapsed. So since we're here, I'd rather follow through on it, but we were kind of on our way out originally, so I'm going to leave that to the party to figure out.
Caesar then?
Well, I suppose we were headed back until the cliff appeared and talked to you and told you about the sky, whatever, air place.
We were going to jump out, right? With just a rope?
Something. We had some great plan about 2 seconds ago that we were just talking about. We can't remember for some reason the exact specifics, but anyway. I don't know how long it's going to be until our entire town is devoured, so I think it's probably a good idea to get on it, so to speak.
Agreed. Okay, so then we're going out into the middle of the air, and Xanatari's brilliant idea was to bring rocks to weight us down, which makes no sense at all, but hey, that was her idea. So we have enough rocks around us. She's going to grab a couple, and she has some rope, so we're fine, ready to go.
Maybe we should take something to eat?
Always practical.
We don't really know how long we're gonna be in there, and if this dungeon is all about air, I don't really like to eat exclusively air. So I don't think it really thinks about us having to eat and drink, so I'm in favor of taking something with us.
You look at Caesar, he's chewing on a chocolate chip cookie, and he says, What? What do you guys have? You have anything?
Might have still some squirrel jerky?
Cardboard. I think that Carl was eating cardboard.
Actually, Carl, for experience points, do you want to take the DM's joke challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it a joke challenge?
Yes.
We have to listen to the joke
What
and
provision
survive.
does a marauding half-orc always have?
What does a marauding half-orc always have?
What was it? Provision. Marauding. He said marauding.
All right. You ready?
Or Grados. It's like Oreos.
Open-faced sandwich.
A what?
Nice.
An open-faced sandwich.
Okay. Fair. He's saying you Never mind.
We survived! We won the challenge! We're not dead!
Yes, because you were talking about ripping off someone's face, so it's
Yeah.
open face.
Oh.
Bad explanations to the German guy.
He's saying you're violent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Anyway. Carl, 5,000 experience points.
right.
That amount is as awkward as that joke is. All right, so what are you going to do for provisions then, Carl? You have cardboard, air, squirrel jerky.
Also, maybe we should check out first this where all the screaming is happening and trying to help people, because if we come back, I don't know when we're gonna emerge from this air dimension. And
Screaming was both ways, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is the screaming coming
Oh.
from?
Screaming is coming from both directions, but there is an explosion from the way you came.
From the way we're going.
Yes.
Deeper. Yes.
So we'll have to pass through the explosion to get to the air portal scenario.
Be another tunnel.
Okay. It's efficient that way.
Yes. Okay. By the way, everyone roll a nature check.
Nature. Nature.
I suck at nature. 15.
don't have my character sheet,
20.
but that's a 1.
Uh-oh.
Got a 1.
Hmm.
Everybody but Carl, duck. You're feeling a pressure change from the explosion.
Okay. Xantari hits the deck.
Okay. Carl, unfortunately, the explosion rounds the corner and flames shoot out of the cave mouth,
Oh no.
which
Oh.
happens to pass over Caesar and Xanatari, but hits you.
Ouch.
That's what he says. Ouch.
Do you have some sort of awesome monk thing that might prevent you from taking considerable damage?
Think I have something that, got a daily that prevents me from taking up to 20 damage one time.
Okay. All right.
That's probably.
And since we don't have the paperwork for it, I would like you to, in proper form, prove that you have that through some glorious explanation of style and grace and how you survive.
Okay. So once the blast is somewhat visible by, I don't know, seeing a shockwave or a distortion in the air, Carl basically freezes up and I'm grasping for. Wish I knew more about monks.
How about this? You're dealing with very late hour.
You should have some kind of
I
martial
think
arts
Caesar
ability,
is
right?
prepared. Caesar, as you were seeing marshmallows and whatever else to hold up on a stick into the flame,
Mm-hmm.
you describe how Carl survives in typical Caesar fashion.
Just say it in German, Carl. Our one watcher right now is German.
Hello. Problem is, if I would really know what to say, I could also wouldn't be a problem to say it in English. But it's
Oh, I see.
not that
It's not a language barrier. It's an awake brain barrier.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Carl is tired. Makes
It's
sense.
like 2 a.m. crazy people.
So Carl doesn't notice the pressure change with the flames about to approach, but he does see Mr. Caesar and Miss Xanatari hit the deck, and he's very concerned. He thinks that something might have happened to them. So he looks around, he looks down and says, Mr. Caesar, Miss Xanatari! Then he looks to the left, looks to the right, and looks for a potential assailant. Maybe someone threw a rock or something like that. And he starts running back and forth, and these gouts of flame start bursting past, but it's timed just so that when he's running to try to find who hurt them, they're just passing in front and behind him.
Very good.
Perfect.
Carl, there is a good thing about standing during an exploding flame blast in a mine. You get to see the marauding orcs running down passageway towards you. You remember passing you know that the town has a jail, and apparently it holds some unsavory types. Walking past in your mind's eye of many, many seconds ago, bonks, this looks like a couple of the orcs that were in that jail. And they are screaming and waving swords and clubs. There's about 5 of them. and you think you see a glimmer of something else further down the passage behind them. This is the way that you had come.
I think he's trying to say something about orcs, Carl. I think he's making a statement about the orcs. At least that's what I heard. I heard some orc discrimination in the town.
Yeah, but Carl's also aware that most of the real orcs usually are pretty bad. So he'll say,
Talk about your mother that way, Carl!
Miss Centauri, Miss Cesar, we have got company and probably not very good one, and points towards the orcs.
Okay. So you're heading towards?
He just, Desmond just, once he got up on his feet again from the blast, or, basically shook it off, he points towards the orcs and maybe he holds up a hand out to Centauri to help her up again.
Okay.
Centauri would take his hand because she's basically like black with dirt after smashing into the floor of this nasty cavern. It's like just covered in disgusting dust from all the dead people that probably died there recently. What?
Drow cosplay.
No, a drow cosplay, yes. I'm now well camouflaged for the environment.
Do you react in any way other than start to get up, or do you want to roll anything?
How far away are these running orcs?
Right now they're about 60 feet.
Nah, she'll just sort of casually loosen her sword.
Okay. Cesar?
See. Oh, if Carl doesn't think this is going to be very good company, you know they're going to be pretty bad, he thinks. And he sees them approach, and he's going to fire his crossbow bolt at the crowd of orcs.
Okay. Any particular one, or just a crossbow?
Just a normal force bolt, one of his standard attacks.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
36.
Okay. You hit, and in this case, you're actually doing pretty good. Do you wish to describe the damage you wreak on at least one?
Sure. So Cesar's not even really aiming. They're far enough away, and there's enough of them. He's just kind of pointing in that direction and letting one loose. He flies through the air and whistles into the shoulder of one, sending it stumbling back into a few behind him. And it lodges itself pretty deep in there, and it kind of gives off this glow, making that target a little bit easier to hit if he's still standing. The next person to hit him, or try to hit him, is going to have an easier time.
Okay. Carl, the fight is joined. You join it, or wander off?
He'll shake his hands and get into a fighting pose, but before doing something else, he'll scream out, just halt for 1 second. Are you going to attack us? Because if you don't, you can just run by us. He screams that towards the orcs.
Okay. Judging on how you're moving around and getting into your fighting stance, that's a good thing, because a thrown dagger whizzes past your nose.
Whoa. So, that's a no then.
How rude.
How rude.
Okay. Zenitari.
Seeing Cesar shoot his crossbow, etc., and basically leave a giant target for me, I'm gonna pull my short swords out and kind of go in front of where he is while he reloads, and kind of leap forward to see if I can get a good position where I'm not just standing in front of a whole herd of running orcs, but I can kind of get toward the side. kind of angled, and I'm gonna try to take a swing at that one.
Okay. You get off to the side of. Sorry, so you gonna say something?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You get off to the side of the mine tunnel, and you're able to catch that orc as it's trying to regain its balance and come forward. And it's essentially gone into berserker mode. It's taken enough damage that it's now just running straight with one arm out, the other arm's kind of limply hanging. So it's more of just running meat shield right now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to begin my storm surge because I would like to have lightning flashing in the middle of the dark to blind them when when they're not paying attention. So, I guess I'm gonna roll to hit him.
Okay. There's a
What?
slight that of interest I'd like to point
Sure.
out. Is there thunder with this?
Yes, there is thunder. If I do thundering wind. This is storm
Okay.
surge. It's basically just like the clouds begin to swirl, or appear in this case because we're underground, and lightning begins to flash kind of overhead. There's no rain or anything like that. It's just kind of an ominous indicator that Xanatari is unhappy.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
So 24 versus AC.
You hit any particular area that you're trying to go for, or just
Well, what are they wearing?
literally rags?
I assume they're prisoners. So they don't have any armor, etc. Right?
Just
I'm gonna
Through weapon.
go for the leg.
Okay.
Like a thigh area. So 11.
+2 if you're hitting that. You're hitting the one that I hit, right?
Yeah.
You get a +2.
All right. Xanatari, you're going to be used to this. It's going to be a little bright and painful when the lightning flash goes off, but Cesar, above or below 10?
Below.
Okay, Xanatari, roll for Cesar.
Above 19.
Okay, Carl, above or below 10? Sorry.
Below?
Xanatari?
Sorry, this thing's like really heavy. It just makes boom. 11.
Okay. Cesar? This tunnel suddenly fills up with lots of flashing lightning, and it temporarily blinds you.
Ah!
Cesar,
see!
Sorry!
Carl, to you, it turns essentially into a strobe light rave. You're able to out of sight, but everything is very disjointed and stroby. Stroby's not a word. Oh, sorry. All right. So you carve out a leg. Good job.
Okay. Goal
Cesar,
to disable
mind
him.
if you want to snap shoot anything?
Hmm?
You're blinded, but do you want to snap shoot anything?
Yeah. Ah, I can't see! I'm gonna shoot something!
Okay. All right. In order to hit something,
Mhm.
you are going to have to roll a 15 or higher.
Okay.
However, if you roll a 9 to a
Mhm.
14, you're going to hit Xanatari.
Oh,
Okay.
well, that's not
Come
good.
on, 9.
Carl?
Damn
Come on,
it.
14.
So, should I roll for Cesar? Or... Okay. That's a 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fourth bolt again, or potentially chocolate chip cookie.
Force bolt.
Xanatari,
Yes.
see a streak of blue.
Uh-huh.
Just past your head.
I hope so.
Hit something. Right. It hit something.
Okay. Well, that gives me another thing to aim at, because basically it says just painting targets around.
Mm-hmm.
So I will leap forward and hit this thing.
Carl, do you wish to leap forward and hit anything?
Not yet. Instead, he'll I don't know how high the ceiling is at the moment, but if there's any chance he can reach it, he'll either just jump straight up or do a cool wall running move to get up onto the ceiling and hold fast to a stalactite, then
Okay.
chopping off another one with the edge of his hand or say a couple of them and begins throwing them at the orcs.
This seems
Okay.
to bode ill for everyone.
Well, having jumped up and realizing that you're not quite sure if what you're grabbing onto is a tooth of a primordial beast or not, you can, in your mind, pretend that you are acting as a dentist and removing teeth and flinging them at an orc. Anyone in particular that you want to try and impale?
Well, if we would be talking straight out D&D here, that would be a blast attack. So
Okay.
he's also quite confused by the lights in the moment, so he just aims straight ahead and hope to hit somebody. Yeah, if possible, multiple orcs.
Above or below a 10.
Above?
Okay. If you roll between a 5 and a 10, you're going to include Zenitari in the blast. And also Caesar. Okay.
Is this possible if Centauri and Caesar are now pretty much below Carl?
They're below, but Zenitari right now is in melee range. And
Oh, okay. Yeah.
they've joined in a close enough scrum that when you do this, depending on how you aim it, you can either aim towards the back, burst the back, and maybe, Xanatari and Caesar are just going to kind of get some crumbs in their face for stone flex. Or due to the strobe, you're going to land it right smack in the middle of everyone.
Right, yeah, must have missed that they're already in melee range. Alright, so who's rolling?
Okay. Who feels daring and wants to roll?
Me.
Okay.
And I rolled a 10.
Nice.
Yes, we didn't get killed, right? That was a 5 and 8. That was the danger.
I'm actually going to let I due to technically it would have hit, but I'm going to let that wonderful attack go. Then Atari, there's enough color painted in this tunnel between the flashing of lightning and everything to know that you really want Carl as your darts partner.
Okay.
Because literally you can see the rock stuff coming towards you and just lose momentum and just kind of like go tink tink against your armor just a little bit.
Okay.
Midge.
I
Carl,
feel the outline.
You're trying to do in terms of bursting it so that it takes their legs out, their heads out. What are you trying to do here?
Probably pretty much center of mass, and his idea was to use the stalactite to pretty much impale one or two of the orcs.
Okay. Zenitari, there is an orc that has been, by the blast, been pushed toward you and is kind of sloppily off balance heading your way.
Mm-hmm.
Caesar, you're still blind, but if you could see, and things are starting to clear up a little bit for you, you'd see that two orcs are indeed impaled, quite graphically, and dead. Although one is kind of twitching and, might have some problems. Zenitari, what color is your lightning?
Blue, of course.
Okay. Caesar, your bolts are what color? Force?
The force ones, they're kind of like pale green.
Well, you have blue and green. Where is this red tint coming from behind you?
I don't know. I can't see it.
Okay. Zenitari, what would you like to do about this one that's either stumbling at you or whatever else is going on?
I'm going to provide him the perfect thing to fall on, my sword.
Okay. Describe.
Basically, I'm just going to stand sideways and hold out my sword, bracing it with my arm so that it will have a nice place right there, so as he falls on a downward angle, he could just take it through his side.
Wonderful. You have now successfully wiped out that particular one.
Good.
Well done. Is there any thunder or anything else that needs to be accounted for when that hit happens?
Nope, I have not done thunder yet.
Okay. So, the orcs in front of you appear to be much dealt with. And there's still kind of cries of pain and so forth going on back the way you came, but the path behind you is suddenly strangely quiet, but you can still smell gas now and then. But
Caesar, still not being able to see, is still continually firing crossbow bolts all around him.
Okay.
Zenitari's gonna hit the deck. Right back into the dirt with her face.
Okay. Carl, do you see this? Do you care?
Yeah, sorry. So there's red light. Was it behind or in front
Yes,
of us? Behind. He'll let go of the stalactite and hopefully drop gracefully to his feet somewhat without...
In between the crossbow bolts that Caesar's randomly firing.
Yeah, if possible, he'll try to land behind Caesar. And point towards the light and shudder. Whoa, what's that?
Okay. Caesar, obviously a demon has fallen behind you and jumped behind you and is going to rip your head from its shoulders.
As soon as I hear
Alright.
something hit the
Okay.
ground, I whirl around to try to shoot right in its face.
Okay. Any particular bolt style?
I'm just spamming these force bolts at this point.
Carl, do you want to try to grab one of the bolts that's being fired at you?
As he's right in reaching range, he'll try to put a thumb on the bolt while it's still in the crossbow and prevent it from being fired that way. Just pinning it towards the wood of the crossbow.
Very well done. Caesar, you are in your mind full Rambo. Awesome.
Yeah.
Xanatari has wiped out stuff. That is good. And Carl, what you see is what looks like two red doorways starting to form behind you in the air.
It's probably the sunk behind both of them. That's probably the sunk behind both of the doors.
Yes, there's probably something behind both of the doors.
Okay. Oh no, there's it's not the song, it's the goats. Okay. Sorry, wrong game show.
No whammy. No whammy,
I was
no
making
whammy.
a game show reference with the goats behind the portals.
Oh, let's make a deal. Let's
Okay.
make a deal.
Yes, let's make it deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
No whammy, no whammy. All right.
So, Okay, so do we have to choose one of them?
No, but there's looks like two sort of clay jars are tossed out of each of the doorways. Not like exactly heading towards you, but they're tossed out and then they're definitely going to hit the ground.
Clay jars. Uh-oh.
Oh. It's probably not a present. So, yeah, he'll... as he's still right in front of Cesar and Cesar doesn't seem to be aware of this at the moment, he'll just try to pick Cesar up and run away from the clay pots and also, shout to Santari, Miss Santari, please follow me.
Sanitari's already face down in the dirt. I think she's just gonna cover her head with her hands because there's nothing she can do at this point.
Scissor's gonna slap at the monster who has picked him off his feet and is taking him away to his certain doom. Get off me, you fiend!
Oh, by the way, just for the sake of interest, Carl, while you're picking Cesar up, your finger moves off the crossbow bolt, and a crossbow bolt flies into one of the doorways.
Okay, phew. That's probably one of the best.
So Carl, you take off. Xanatari, you're in the dirt, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If you were to make a roll for the skill that rhymes with Arcana, might be an efficient time.
Xanatari rolls a 13 at her banana eating skill.
Okay, very good. Your banana eating skill tells you that this is not a demonic portal, but it is something that is a something along the lines of a dimensional doorway.
It's not a demonic portal, it's a dimensional doorway.
Yeah. The teleportation thing versus, hey, we've just summoned some sort of bad demon thing.
Right.
So it's something human-based.
Okay. I was just waiting for another adjective that began with D. But, alright.
What's going with that?
Is it deciduous, divine? I don't know. At this point, I think Xanatari is trying to figure out if these clay pots are incendiary, because if they're going to blow up and catch her on fire, specifically Greek fire, I'm probably going to run for the store and jump through it, not knowing where it goes, but it doesn't really matter, rather than being, emoliated. So, I want to guess roll a perception as I'm kind of eyeing it, one-eyed, into the floor.
Okay. Very good.
25.
Okay. It sounds like there is a small fuse, a small hissing sound.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like there is some sort of sandy material in the pot instead of it wobbling and sloshing like there is Greek fire in the pot.
Okay, so there's a fuse that's going to explode, but it's like gunpowder versus liquid.
Even less than gunpowder. You're explicitly aware enough, and you're having dispatched enough things with explosions that this doesn't seem like a grenade.
Okay, would Xanatari know the average radius of such a device?
Yeah, you're probably pretty good right where you're at.
Okay, well then I'm just going to cover my head and lay down for a nice relaxing dirt nap.
Okay. Jars hit the ground, shatter, and quickly there is a screen of smoke screen starts to billow.
Okay. With that, she's going to get up and back away, because whatever's coming out of the smoke is probably not good.
You begin to glow a luminous purple color.
I turn around and realize I'm standing by myself. Cesar! Did you run away again?
I'm being taken to my doom! Save me!
Zenitari's gonna turn around, like back kind of slowly away from this purple smoke and kind of begin to like run towards where they are.
Your outline continues to flicker with purple.
Okay. Fairy fire?
That would probably be a good idea. Yes.
Okay.
Ran into it back on episode 36.
Yes.
At that time, it was lucky. Cesar, since you are on being carried over the shoulder again, or under the arm of Carl, as you are wont to be, as your eyes are clearing, you see what obviously must be a ghostly, spectral remnant of Xanatari who must have been rent and killed because she's the demon that is carrying you because you have. She's glowing and doing kind of a ghosty thing, and she's running at you.
And he realizes it's Carl that's carrying him. He's like, oh, Carl, look, run faster, look!
Okay.
Carl tries to do so, and while under his huffs, he go. Do you see Miss Centauri? Is she with us?
I don't know. All I see is that thing, that specter. Go!
Okay, Carl's trying to run faster and at least get out of sight of whatever's behind them now.
Okay. Zenitari, you and Cesar will see various crossbow bolts try to hit you, but they sort of strike into the stone around you.
Okay.
They're a lot more accurate with you, Zenitari, than they are otherwise, but the one that does hit you kind of deflects off your armor and keeps going.
Okay. I'm pretty much immune to lightning anyway, so I'm not too worried about it.
Carl, ahead of you, there is a newly forming smoke screen, and you are also now illuminated in purple outline. But you see figures standing within the smoke at the last moment before the cave kind of enveloped, the tunnel is enveloped in this round of fog, and fog merges. There's like 3 figures.
Should I tell something about the outlines of the figures? So does they look like normal human size, or?
Like humanoids.
Right. Okay, so that means there's smoke screen behind us and above, before us, and...
Yeah, you're essentially now like in a
Okay.
giant smoke screen in a tunnel that's got weirdly lit colors because of you and Xanatari, and it was kind of bluer back there, but Bert seems to be trying to burn through with various colors of light. Again, kind of
Yeah.
ravey. It's like a Diwali festival. Got it.
Yes.
So doesn't really know how many possible attackers are behind them, but 3 seems probably manageable, so he'll just run full speed ahead and maybe try to tackle one of them and throw Cesar at another.
Yes! Yes!
The Cesarang! It's been episodes and episodes since it's happened. But the Cesarang is back.
Yep. He locks his arms out in front of him and his legs straight down to make the perfect V shape and whirls through the air.
All right. Above or below, Carl? 10.
Above.
Okay. Cesar, above or below?
Below.
Okay. Atari.
Ooh, the first one was a 2, so that's not good, right? They're both below. 4.
Okay.
One of you successful.
Carl, it is wonderful that you have the accuracy of a distance thrower in order to perfectly pitch Cesar off into one of the attackers, However, that cookie was obviously weighing him down just a little bit and was off. You had to put a little extra spin on it, and you only lightly clip the shoulder of one of the attackers as you go barreling through, and there could be a rock face fall in your immediate future unless you really want to be descriptive on how you escape it.
Okay, so just to make it clear to me, you successfully pitched Cecil, but now is running to Cora's immediate danger of running to the wall himself? Or?
Yes.
Okay. He'll probably just do exactly that, but while having missed his opponent, whoever he is, he'll still try to pull him with them and cushion his impact against the wall with whoever he just tackled.
Okay.
It's a spike monster!
Oh no.
Well, the fog turns red and you're splashed with color. Caesar, how do you, as the Caesarang, wish to potentially hit and or dispatch your opponent?
Well, he flies through the air and smoke sort of flies all around him, and he says, "You damn vapors!" And he smacks sort of head first, or like head to head, right into whatever it is that he was just thrown at. Just crack, just pow! But Caesar's got a really hard skull, and whoever he hits is definitely more worse for the wear.
Okay. Carl, the world turns more red. Caesar, you are lightly coated in something, but Carl, your world turns even more red and you feel more liquid splashed upon you. Dinatari, you are glowing, radiant, lovely, beautiful, deadly, electrified.
Yes, well, Xanatari was trying to catch up to Carl, who is running his fastest. So, her arms are pumping, and she's kind of looking behind her, running as fast as possible. And then just kind of at the last minute notices that Carl's just crashed into the wall and that Caesar's been flung towards these unexpected figures ahead of her. So she's going to gesture at Winter to send Winter ahead of her, but she's going to slip because she's running so fast and trying to stop that she's going to slide essentially like a baseman and just slide, on her butt all the way into these figures and try to just like kick out their ankles because she can't stop.
Okay. That is awesome. How do you want Winter to handle the topside action?
I'm hoping Winter is going to just jump on one of these guys or something, but I figure sending him ahead to kind of assess the situation and bite somebody might make one less for me.
Well, in proper anime timing, you both hit at the same time. You slide in, you take out the ankles, and just metal on bone. It's disgusting. There's a brief warbled scream as Winter is lunging at the same target because there was only 3 of them. Ripping the throat out of whatever this opponent was. Mm-hmm. These could possibly not be opponents, but, well, they are now.
They're probably reflections of us, but you know what? We just gotta go for it.
The splurting of blood, again, shoots all over Carl.
Poor Carl. He's gonna have a serious dry cleaning.
But... Xanatari, you are able to see a mask on the figure before essentially Winter takes its head off.
Mm-hmm.
Good, okay. They're wearing masks. They're bad.
Okay, good.
And as the tunnel behind you starts to flicker in a large sort of orange ghostly light that is rapidly heading towards your location. Say the magic words of Xanatari, take us out.
Thank you for listening. You can find out more at death4dishonor.com, on Twitter at death4, or on iTunes, obviously, Death D4 Dishonor. You should listen to the Gray Area podcast, who has 3 new episodes this last couple of weeks, so finally got back into that. That's at genesee.com. And we may be here next week, or I don't think we're going to be here next week, but the week after. We may be back on Twitch, but the best thing to do is really just kind of follow Twitter or, one of those platforms I mentioned, and we'll have it posted where we're going to be. So it's either going to be here or it's at Twitch TV/Genesee. But if you'd like to see us stream, check back here. YouTube's a new thing for us. Hopefully it works out. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.